Druid?
Right here.
Welcome. Thank you for 20 years of service.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate every bit of it.
All right. Okay.
Now I guess we can call the meeting to order. First item of business is to recognize our guests, who include Jake Sanchez, Jorge Sanchez, Ashton Ponce, Vanessa Villarreal, Wade Carpenter, Danny Martinez, Ismael Martinez, Brenda Cantu, April Ruman, Leodoro Martinez Reyes, Imelda Taya Cruz Mata, Ricardo Hoffman, Brenda Hoffman, okay. Judge Martha Alicia Ponce, James M. Gonzalez, Dimmit County Judge, Office, Derek Sandoval, Melissa Lopez, Aubrey Haynes, Yesenia Silva, Al Salinas, Emmanuel Zamora, Carlos Lopez, Armando Mondragon, Michael Bailey, J.A. Perez, Rand Shell, Lisa Ernest, Margot Mata, Connie Silva, Zoraida, Ariano Sanchez, Judy Estrada, Steve Martinez, Ezra Tristan, Rosie Lara, Angie Hernandez, Rachel Rendon, Norma Anderson, Chuck Barabia. Have I missed anybody? Welcome. Thank you for attending. Is there any audience patrons? We're going to go to item number 11 and 12. The first item is to consider a petition to annex the Southwest Texas College Taxing District under section 130.065 to the Texas Education Code, all territory within the boundaries of LaSalle County, and notice of a public hearing on the proposed annexation.
Yes, sir. So tonight is a historic night for our institution, for our district. It's our first ever petition for annexation. And there's a rigorous process that needs to be followed before we get to this point. And the most rigorous is each of the counties has to acquire support from at least 5% of the registered voters. And I'm pleased to report, and with the county judge, Deloro Martinez certification, we have exceeded the 5% required voters. So it's my recommendation to the board that we accept the annexation petition and set a hearing at the LaSalle County courtroom for July 7th at 6 p.m.
Do we need a
Go ahead
motion?
and make a motion.
And a second?
Watkins, do we
Second.
accept the annexation petition submitted by LaSalle County Judge Deloro Martinez III, and also to establish a public hearing on July the 7th?
Do we need a second?
I second.
That motion made and seconded to accept the petition of the LaSalle County. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Next item. Next item is the consideration of a petition to annex Southwest Texas Junior College Taxing District under section 130.065 of the Texas Education Code, all territory within the boundaries of Dimmit County, and the notice of a public hearing on the proposed annexation.
Yes, sir. So very similar to LaSalle County, Dimmit County was very strongly supporting the annexation petition. Their signatures also exceeded the 5% required to submit the petition. We've been working closely with both Superintendent Pearson and Judge Ponce on getting this process in order. And we're very excited that this is such a exciting moment that it's not only one county, but it's two counties that are requesting the annex and be formally part of our college district. So we're very excited to bring them both in. Setting the hearing, we'll publish a plan, but setting the hearing for July the 9th, and then we will come back and order an election sometime in August and leave it up to the voters. But if the petition is any indication, there is strong support in both communities to pass the annexation. So,
July 9th is at 6 p.m. also.
correct.
I move that we accept the petition for annexation for Dimmit County and set a hearing for July the 9th. Oh, okay. I'll second that.
And we have a motion and a second to accept the petition from Dimmit County. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Welcome.
And get photos with the board and the judges,
Okay,
and then we'll.
and then we'll come back to the regular meeting.
Where's the board?
We're gonna use the backup.
Okay. Okay.
No, I think I can make it. It's all right.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Ready to take the hat off?
No, you're good. Yes,
I get cold without
You're
it.
fine.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, so happy.
Yeah. Likewise.
They heard it?
Robert is there for the third meeting, but I know. I recognize your business.
Thank you so much. You let us know whatever you need. Okay? Yeah. Again, thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
What? Oh. Hector? Oh. Congratulations. Thank you for being here for 20 years.
Okay.
Have we officially called it order yet? As a first of the meeting, we're going to start with reports, admissions, and registrar. Okay.
It was 1 second, Steve.
Sure.
You got it.
Okay, there we go. So good evening to Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Watkins, board members, and patrons. Good to be here. Good evening. Exciting. So on behalf of Southwest Texas College, my name is Steve Martinez. I'm the registrar, and I'm going to present on the admissions and registrar's office. So here we go. All right, so first I'd like to start off by introducing the team. So right now I'd like to invite my staff members from the Uvalde office to go ahead and stand and introduce yourselves. Go ahead and wave to the board members. Yeah. So in the photo you see here, this is the Uvalde team, and then we have Team Del Rio in admissions. We have 4 members over there that assist us with the same procedures that we offer here. And then we have our Eagle Pass team, along with Ms. Gonzalez at Crystal City Admissions. So together we make up the intake. So we're your front door here to the college. So one of the things that we'll notice here is, we have the mission statements from the college, but at admissions at all of our campus locations, we have our own local mission statement, which is first impression, which means everything to us. So one of the things that we always are mindful of is that we put ourselves on the other side of the counter, because college admissions can sometimes be intimidating, especially with the modernizing of the offices today. 15, 20 years ago, we used to fill out paper applications, and these days, whether it's in higher education, hospitals, schools, different organizations, you're on the computer using technology, for efficiency purposes, but that may not be as simple for everybody as we would assume it would be. So we wanted to simplify the process, because there are options to go somewhere else, but we want to make a first impression because we want you to come back to our doors. So we always pride ourselves on customer service with our students and community members. So the onboarding for the Office of Admissions, I've noted here, kind of small, but I'll kind of take you to the steps. And this is just a way to simplify for a student, and we'd like to communicate this information at new student orientation and students that walk in through the door, email us, or come in person, just as a prospective student. So it starts with your Apply Texas application, which you're going to do 2-part process. That's going to be creating your profile, and then you're going to start the specific application for Southwest Texas College. Now, the Apply Texas is known as the Texas Common App, and it's used by all the universities and community college here in the state of Texas, hosted by the UT system. And so with creating your profile, you're able to indicate multiple schools at one point that you want to apply for, in case you're kind of on the fence as far as where you want to go. And that information will come into our database here at the college, and then we use that information to send you your acceptance letter. Offices will use that same correspondence, address information, send correspondence to the students, whether it's electronically or via mail. And then we start with the supporting documents, such as transcripts, whether you're a high school student, GED, or a transfer student needing a college transcript, test scores, which would be applicable depending on what program. If you're coming into a 1-year certificate program, you get a waiver from our TSI, which is Texas Success Initiative, which is known as a placement exam, being that we have an open door policy here at the community college. If you're going into a 2-year program, then those placement scores would be required so that we can make sure you're prepared to go into classes such as English Composition 1, college algebra. Depending on the scores, we may recommend a remedial course so that we make sure you're prepared, because we want to make sure that time and money are very valuable. So we want to make sure that students are successful with higher probability the first go around versus having to repeat the same course. Additionally, we have new student orientation, which we invite students to come on our campuses at different locations, give you a guided tour of the service and departments that we offer, get to meet some of the staff members. And then we have, if you're under the age of 22, there is a law known as for bacterial meningitis immunizations at 22 years of age or younger. And so what we do in order to help offset the cost for that, because it ranges from $100 to $120 if you go to your local physician, Walgreens, HB, Walmart, is we work with the state health department to come onto our campus and offer, in addition to immunizations for bacterial meningitis, flu vaccines as well, which we have a clinic coming up on June 4th, which it's at no cost to the student, whether you have insurance or not. So we want to make sure to have an available resource where students can come locally and get that immunization. On this page here, it outlines the different types of students we may have. You have your first-time student coming into college, may have not taken early college or dual credit classes. We have a readmission, which is a former student that attended, a couple of years back. We have your transfer students. Right now it's a kind of a high traffic time for our transfer students that maybe former alumni that they're coming back home from the university and coming to pick up a class or two during the summer before transferring back out to start their fall semester at their respective university. And then we have our international students, which we work with, being that we're close to the border. We'll have our specific outlined items and requirements for their sponsorships and visas to get that information set up in order to take classes here with us. So we have personnel that will be specialized in working with these special populations here to make sure they get in the information that they need. Some statistics for y'all here. So we have the Applied Texas. I did this by calendar year. So as you can see, going back to 2023, leading up to present time, we've had in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 new applications that come in. A lot of that is from the population of the high school students, whether they're dual credit or early colleges. There is a campaign, each fall and spring semester where we're working with our partners at the high schools to get their students applied for Southwest Texas College. Currently, I want to note that on spring calendar year 2026, since we're kind of only halfway, that's why that number is a little bit lower right now, but it will increase by the time we get to the fall semester. We're excited to share new processes and services at our admissions office. One of the success points that we have for funding, as you know, we have the completion, which we work with our graduate numbers to report to the state to show the number of credentials that we're offering, awarding here at Southwest Texas College. But something new that we've also tapped into is known as Occupational Skills Awards. So that is a specialized set of classes within a certificate program before the students actually graduate with that certificate, which will also be noted on an official transcript. And that's for marketable purpose, to show those special skills to a potential employer. On our side, reporting that to the state, we can receive additional funding in addition to their credential that they'll get, once they finish their respective program. So that's something that we work closely with our Strategic Innovation Research Office to make sure that we get that data reported so we can maximize the funding here to our institution. Additionally, for efficiency and modernizing our own office, we have worked with a new vendor here since fall of 24. The name of the company is called Paradigm. They are a partner of the National Student Clearinghouse. But what they do is they assist us to be more efficient in getting our diplomas out to our students. So to give you a little contrast, we used to have, localized software in our office where we would, plug in that information, have to purchase diploma paper, print that out, package up diplomas, pay the shipping, and that would take several weeks to do as we had a high number. And then we're, working with our summer and fall registration simultaneously. So that would take us, a little while to do. And now working with this partner, we're able to just produce a graduate file, send it to the company, and the company takes care of the rest by packaging and communicating electronically with the students that their diplomas have now been shipped. Turnaround time is roughly about maybe 3.5 weeks now versus the several weeks that we used to have before. So again, it's all in the name of efficiency. Additionally, another service that we started just in November of 25 is e-transcripts. So once again, we used to have our local service of we printed out the transcripts here at the Uvalde office, and that was your standard snail mail and mailing them out to the students. And so one of the downsides to that was when we had, spring break or the weekends or the Christmas holiday break where, that service would reach a temporary stop. And now with e-transcripts, we have this service where students can go via our website. We partner with the National Student Clearinghouse once again, so it's very secure. And the transcript does have a small service fee charge from the clearinghouse of $3.90. The turnaround time now is 2 hours for the student to receive their electronic transcript. So I provided a couple of stats to kind of see where do they go. So 62% are sent to external institutions where the student is applying to. 26% is to the student themselves, likely to produce to maybe a potential employer or a scholarship application, or maybe university just want to hand carry it. And then 12% is third party, which is likely to an employer, as that's the primary document that you're going to take to an employer to verify your college hours or credentials that you have with Southwest Texas College. So some stats I want to share, especially on e-transcripts, is as of November of 2025, leading up until last week, we've already fulfilled over 3,000 orders for e-transcripts. And so that is really showing the efficiency of what that service can do for students. So we're very excited for that. So this is just another step to increase efficiency and modernize our office to head towards kind of more of a paperless environment where it makes it more simple and available to students. And so here's some additional stats on graduate numbers. We've been able to see a steady increase over these recent 3 years. As you can see on the chart, you see that it incrementally goes up. We're usually about 3 to 5% increasing in the number of graduates per year. Right now, we are partial with our spring 26 as we have a dual credit population that's ending their program here within the next few days. So we're anticipating about another 120 graduates for the spring 26 semester, which will take us over 1,000. We're currently at about 903. We should increase to about 1120. And then we still have our summer population in August, which is going to take us, I anticipate, over our last previous academic year to increase our graduate total. So good data. And then finally, here in admissions, we have the unique aspect that we're the front door. We welcome you into the college. But at the same time, we get to, wave you on the way out, whether you're going to your career or you're going to, your next university institution, your next stop, and as you see here, we have college commencement where, I want to give a shout out to, our maintenance department, our service departments, there's a lot of people involved, and I believe in the philosophy of many hands make light work. So as you can see here, we were all together, back at the Fairplex, and I think it's a great way to send off our students and to celebrate our families and our communities here at our commencements. So our commencements are in Uvalde for the May ceremonies, and then in December, we alternate between Del Rio and Eagle Pass. So just as some insight, this year we'll be returning to Eagle Pass on Tuesday, December 8th for 2 ceremonies at the International Trade Center. So more details to come later on in the fall semester. But this is our Super Bowl, and we love what we do. So on behalf of the admissions office, I want to thank Mr. Cruz Mata, Dr. Gonzalez, and the board for their support and for their trust for us to carry out this mission for Southwest Texas College. And I'll entertain any questions if there are any at this time.
You guys do a fantastic job.
Doing a good job. Thank you. We didn't realize you were so busy. Next report we have is on cybersecurity program.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Watkins. I'm Carlos Lopez, Applied Science Division Chair. Mr. Hector Rivera will not be able to present today because he is retiring, so I will be presenting this program today. It's hard to follow up with Steve's presentation because they do such a good job and he spoke so eloquently. So cybersecurity, here we go. Obviously, cybersecurity right now in our industry is one of the main, high profile occupations within the state and the nation that's gaining a lot of interest, right? So right now, the average pay in the state of Texas for your regular cybersecurity specialist, as you can see in those values, are pretty high paying wages right now. Entry level wages around into those particular markets are going to run about the 60 to 80K mark on there, but on average, this is what you're seeing right now. I know as I speak to cybersecurity specialists, as we look to replace possibly Mr. Rivera, you start seeing some of the figures and you're like, it's interesting, right? You're like, wow, it's a high paying and demand field. And as what you've seen lately in the news, you can see why that particular job occupation is so important in today's environment. So our team right now, again, Mr. Rivera is retiring, but made up of Mr. Gilbert Gonzalez and Ramiro Salazar. Mr. Gonzalez is a data admin with USAA in San Antonio. I believe he was a graduate from our institution and then moved on, but very well respected, very a person who is spoken very highly of. So maybe one day he can come join us over here. Ramiro Salazar is also an adjunct instructor. He does a lot of teaching work with various universities where he teaches also. So we're glad to have their expertise in helping our students succeed. So. Right now, everybody's going to ask, right, how is AI affecting this environment, right? Well, what you've seen over the last 2 years specifically, and even more so this past year, is the impact AI is having in this particular field. So initially, when we created this program, right, you had what we consider high human level maintenance associated with it. But as the environment is constantly changing, you'll see a bigger growth or a bigger shift in the needs to address some of those AI needs. Is something we'll be actively looking to help improve the quality of the program, because we're starting to see it in some of our other programs. You see our business office technology program is already shifting to try to include some AI curriculum within their fields. And also what you see is a state trying to play catch up also within their WECM in regards to being able to offer those courses. So it's going to take a little bit over the next years or so as the industry experts get together and identify what courses are going to be available, what the curriculum is going to need for that. So again, you'll see a huge shifting environment within this particular field. Right now, at its peak, we had 16 graduates. Right now, we're holding about a 46 retention rate, which you see, they usually get the first year cert, and most of the people start looking for jobs. So you see a little bit of drop off on those students trying to pursue year 2. So it's indicative of a little bit other programs that you see sort of the same trend line occurring. Professional certification strategy, right? In the computer information systems and the cybersecurity and the information technology field in general, there's a huge emphasis on credentials, right? Not just degrees, but what you see, CompTIA certs. That's something we're actively trying to prepare students to take these exams, because what you see as you talk to the industry professionals is those are the areas where they first start seeing students being able to put their foot in the door by obtaining such certifications. They're not easy, they're difficult, but it's something that we're actively trying to push our students to obtain. So, and those are some of the areas where you see that they focus on security assurance, certified knowledge, access control. I'm not a computer, I don't consider myself a computer savvy, but it's impressive what these students can do with the knowledge that they have. So. Our goal is to try to retain 60%, have that retention goal at 60%. And there's certain strategies that we're going to be implementing or pushing for to help to increase that retention from the 46 that we have right now to attain that 60% goal that we're trying to achieve. Some of it is monitoring. I know on the success coach side, they have the new watermark program that they have with the student success, correct me if I'm wrong, success coaches, which they gave us a demo on that. And I think it's going to provide valuable information to both instructors and our staff in being able to monitor our students more effectively, how they're passing, sending alerts out when there's issues occurring with the students, because ultimately the mission of our institution and the programs that we run is to promote student success. So that tool in itself will help increase that. So I think you'll see across the board of not just in cyber, but the variety of our programs, much higher quality in regards to students passing, being successful, which is something we should be constantly trying to do. Referrals, again, direct placement with student success centers and dedicated tutoring. One of the things that we offer here on the college is being able to provide students with resources to promote student success. We'll continue to direct them to those areas, and hopefully they take advantage and we can push forward. Same thing with the resources that we just talked about. Program modernization. So what we're seeing right now with the AI trend and the attacks that you see, I don't know if anybody was familiar a week or two ago with the whole campus situation. But what we're starting to see is more sophisticated attacks across the board. So one of the areas where I attended NC3 last year, one of the areas what a lot of schools are moving to, therefore, as they called it downrange, right? So basically, they create an environment where the system is isolated from everyone else, and the students are basically through these learning machines preventing cyber attacks within the system. It's a dedicated system. It's completely isolated, but students are getting real hands-on knowledge on how to prevent these attacks. Values for those, I can't tell you how much they're going to be because it's something that needs to be priced out, but it's fascinating information when you hear some of these IBM reps talk to you in the direction of how this is all going. So I was referred to Skynet from the movie Terminator. It's wow, it's amazing how everything's tied together. Again, promoting student success with the use of our labs, providing information in regards to our virtual machines. We have software right now that we can simulate creating software, creating environments in which these students can basically replicate making servers or doing various cyber functions in it. It's low cost. The renewal rate, the renewals on the software itself don't necessarily cost anything. It just has a student basically re-log into it and create new accounts for it. So it's something Mr. Rivera helped push when throughout his teaching that particular program. So it's interesting information. So. Moving forward, again, moving forward, the strategy is to engage with recruiter engagement, speaking with graduating classes, which I think we do on the technical side. We do an excellent job. We're constantly out there, constantly trying to recruit people. I'm so proud of our faculty because they put endless hours in meeting with these students and meeting with administration, meeting with our credit partners. I can't commend them enough on that. Again, high school outreach, we continue to do it. And then graduate tracking, something that we're looking at improving in regards to seeing where our students are going as they graduate, what industries they're going to. This is also with our industry partners and our advisory committees. It's something that they're interested in. They're also gaining our graduates. So we'll continue to grow, spread the seeds, and cultivate those relationships to help place our students. Any questions? No? All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the report. That's very amazing. Next on our agenda, we have the construction report.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? All right. Good evening, Dr. Watkins, Dr. Gonzalez, board members, faculty, staff, patrons. Today we will have our May construction report in our in our Chittum HVAC, in Eagle Pass, and our Del Rio welding and construction sites. So in our Eagle Pass campus, we have freshly painted rooms already. Some doors went in right after that, after this picture was done. The inspection, which is our MEP, which is our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, once that passed, they were able to drywall everything and go ahead and texture and paint the building. You'll see that the interior tin has already been completed. All inside the labs, the 2 labs that are in there. All the electrical has been run. We had some drops, some data drops are being, they started on Tuesday, doing our Cat 6 into the classrooms and into the labs. On the exterior, some pathways for cameras are also being installed this week. Our electrical lockers or MDPs or disconnects, they're ready to go. You'll see one there. There's another one there. The design, the Square D design is the newest and, finest master distribution centers. And we will have AEP do the construction on our pad mount transformer the first week in June. So we should be live by the 8th or the 9th on that week. If not by the 10th of June, we should be live with power into that building. We had our gas tap services that will supply our natural gas heaters. And shortly after this, the Eagle Pass Waterworks supplied us with the 2 water meters, one for service and one for irrigation. Any questions on our Eagle Pass construction? In our Del Rio welding and construction science, we are at about 95% of our roof. They started a little later with a delay in the building. They're playing catch up. They're doing a good job of doing that. They continued on the interior tin inside. This here will just be 2 labs with no classrooms. It'll have offices for the instructors, bathrooms, IDF room, and the janitorial closet. So you see that some of the drywall is being installed as we speak. Now that one has not passed inspection, so they cannot cover all the walls, but the walls that they can cover, they have to leave one side exposed so they're able to see the pathways of the electrical and the plumbing. Now that campus will have electric. We have no gas services there, so those 2 labs, or that lab there, will have electrical heaters for heat. Questions on the Del Rio project? No? Okay, thank you.
Sounds like you got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate the information. Next report, we have President's report.
Yes, sir. So, item number 5 in your board packet, of course, we have the construction report update. Further down the agenda, we'll ask the board to consider approving the RFP for the air conditioning on before Hall. We also have the board self-evaluation that the board will discuss next. I want to spend some time on the policy. So we have policy update number 51, and there's one policy there that TASB is recommending, that BBC local. And I've included it in the president's report so you can see it. Right now, what we have is BBC legal, which, and it deals with the replacement of a board member due to a vacancy. And so BBC legal on page 3 of 5 says any vacancy occurring on the board through death, resignation, otherwise shall be filled by special election ordered by the board or by appointment by resolution or order of the board. And then it talks about the special election and then the appointment process. And that's what our policy is today. What TASB is suggesting is to add BBC local. That doesn't exist right now. And what they've recommended is a process for accepting applications, evaluating the applications, and then they could form a committee, the board could form a committee, and then make the appointment. So I don't know what the sentiment is on the board, but that's one that I would just call to your attention. And when we get down to that agenda item, we can certainly, adopt all of 51 and not adopt BBC local, and give you all time to evaluate that further if you want to include it the way it is. But that's one that I really call to your attention as we get to item number 10 for that policy. On the annexation. So as you heard earlier, that process is moving forward. The next step for us is to publish a service plan for each of the counties. We'll publish those 30 days before the hearing. So June 7th and June 9th, those will be published in those counties. And it just talks in general about what our plan is to serve, inform the public about the current tax rate, our max tax rate, and that kind of information. And those, we have to follow a very tight timeline between today, when we publish the hearing, when we publish the service plan, when we hold the hearing, and then when we order the election. So that's why we'll have 2 hearings in July, and they will be in each of the respective counties over there. So as we get to item number 14, the board meetings for the summer, I'm requesting that we move the June a week later, not have a July, but we'll have 2 hearings that second week of July, and then we're probably going to have a special meeting in August just so we can meet that deadline to call the election in time for the November election. And I'll have a lot more information on that for our June board meeting, but just to kind of give you a heads up on why some of those things are occurring. Budget, our budget is pretty much done. However, right now we have a placeholder for the state performance funding dollars for next year. The state has said that they plan to release those mid-June. So again, another reason why I want to push the June meeting a week later. Hopefully we can get those numbers in so we can plug them into the budget and tweak whatever we need to tweak. Right now we're holding flat, right? Exactly the same amount we got this year. So if it's at least the same as this year or a little better, we'll be good to go. If it's a little lower, then we've got some contingency in there that we can absorb, but we'll just have to wait until we know for sure. Then on the legislative side, continue meeting with the revenue subcommittee. We have to have a draft. We have a draft of those first talking points. Also, I've been appointed to 2 committees. The first one's by the Texas Higher Ed Co-Board. That's a committee looking at dual credit. The state, the TEA requires that students complete 9 hours for their accountability. The the coordinating board, which is higher ed, requires 15 hours for funding. So they're looking at, what would it cost the state if we drop from 15 to 9 and still pay us on that performance? So that's what they set up this committee. That's one of the major topics. There's others in there that we'll cover, but that's the major topic that we'll be addressing this summer. And it meets once a month through the end of August, and they're virtual. And then the other one is to serve on the advisory council for the Texas Success Center. And you can read there, just to provide a sounding board for them on the work that they're doing at the Success Center and how it impacts a community college. What can we do as a state to strengthen that impact and the relevance of that work? Proud to share their National College Finals, third week of June, the 14th through the 20th. We have 7 athletes that have qualified to go to the National Finals rodeo. So we're very proud of them. And also, Kate's Cowboy Promise, I don't know if I mentioned earlier or not, they've agreed to expand the eligibility to include Dimmit and LaSalle counties. And they've also agreed to expand it to include workforce training programs. Those programs do not qualify for Pell, so that would be a game changer for a lot of students coming out of high school that want to enter one of those short-term credentials and get right to work. We got notified this morning that they have approved a request to include workforce training. And I think that's it for my report, unless y'all have any questions.
I have a question going back to construction. How is the project in Crystal City coming?
The project in Crystal City is not coming. So we had not coming yet. It's coming. Nothing has happened with it. So we met with the new architect firm last week.
Yes.
Last week, and we shared with them, the pending projects. So they're going to come out. They kind of did an initial assessment of, what we have, who we are, and they're tackling the elevator since our other architect dropped it. So they're tackling that one, and then we're going to start on the Crystal City.
By when?
There was no real decision and time made. I do know they want to visit with the community. They want to, again, as Dr. Gonzalez mentioned, last board member, they want to see what the architect of the community is and how it's going to filter and flow and be a nice thing. They were going to concentrate primarily on our elevators first, and then they were looking at that. But it's something that we can certainly give them the information and start looking at.
Our previous architect really set us behind with those two projects. It really threw a wrench into both of them. We have an internal diagram that we gave to the architects of what we'd like in that building already. So they're not starting from scratch, but we need to have, the whole design for that to move forward. Maybe by fall,
Yes, sir.
we would have something for the board to consider as far as the blueprints to authorize.
And during our meeting, Dr. Gonzalez did share a floor plan that we had thought would work in that area and in that space. So they took that back with them, and they're very cognizant of what needs to happen, as Dr. Gonzalez mentioned to them.
Any other questions?
The second date on here is 7/7, you said?
Yes, so July 7th would be the LaSalle in Cotulla, and July 9th would be in Carrizo, Dimmit County.
What kind of attendance do we need to have for the two meetings in Dimmit and LaSalle County?
So for a hearing, technically you don't need a quorum because you're not going to take any action. We're there to listen and answer questions. I will address the questions that I can answer. But the hearing very similar to our tax hearings. They don't need a quorum because there's no action. Obviously, the more the merrier. But I need at least one officer to go.
I'll try to be there.
Yeah.
I can walk.
What time?
At 6 p.m.,
Both at 6 p.m.,
both at 6.
July 7th and July 9th. So we probably leave here by 4:30 or so.
For Carrizo. Carrizo's an hour and Catula is an hour and 40 minutes. And we can, finalize that at our June board meeting.
We're trying to understand what we need to do.
Tuesday and a Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday. I tried to keep them, originally I had tried to schedule them on Thursday and Thursday, but the second Thursday went too far past my deadline.
Thank you for that report, Dr. Gonzalez. Next, we discuss the SWTX Board of Trustees self-evaluations.
Yes, sir. And this is y'all's document. So, shout out to Vanessa. She's sitting back there. She compiled the results that y'all submitted and tabulated it different ways. You can see where the average has been year by year. So you can see where you, as a board, rated yourself. And then you can also see the raw scores for this year and how those were calculated. And really, this is your time to discuss and, have any comments amongst yourself as a board. If something you want to do different, something that we can do to help in any of those areas, we'd be happy to.
Do we need a motion to accept the?
No, sir, there's no motion. It's just time for y'all to review that and see that and make any comments.
Which is good. Next, we need to consider and act on the consent agenda for the minutes of the April 16th, 26th board meeting and the financial statement of April 3rd, 2026. Here's a motion.
Also move.
No second. A motion been made and seconded to accept the consent agenda for two items, minutes of the April 16th, 26th board meeting and the financial statement for April 30th, 2026. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Presenting years of service, and we've already done that item, correct?
Yes, sir.
Consider an act on electing board officers.
Yes, sir. So every year after board elections, the May of that year is the policy for electing the board officers, the president, vice president, and secretary.
I'm gonna make a motion that we, go ahead and keep, our officers as they are right now.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody disagree? Anybody want to change anything?
Have we heard from Dr. Rivera?
What?
Will he be back? Dr. Rivera?
I spoke to him yesterday. He's in Liberty, Texas at a graduation of a granddaughter.
That's fine.
And he said he probably will make the meeting next month. He apologized for not coming this month. He said he feels pretty well. The treatment he receives doesn't really give him anything except maybe one day a little bit of nausea. Otherwise, he said almost nothing to it. But he sounded very good and very positive, so he expects to attend the June meeting. So all in favor of continuing the board election?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. So we continue the same board members. Thank you all. Dr. Rivera is the vice president. Do we keep him as the vice president? But he's not here right now. Next, we have to consider an act on localized policy manual update 51 and the local policies changes.
Yes, sir. Item number 10, your board packet. This is the update that I referred to in the presence report. There on the first several pages of number 10, it kind of gives you a short description of what changed. Again, the legal, we have no authority to modify. That is just making us aware of changes due to changes in statutes or attorney general opinions. And then the ones that have local, those are the ones that the board has the ability to approve, disapprove, or modify. And really the only one that I would, again, call to your attention is that BBC local, because it does deviate from the practice that the board has used in the past.
What page is it on?
It's item number 10. The actual policy is included in the president's report on the very back.
I know it's item 10, but on item 10, it is included in the.
It should be included there. Let me see.
Do we need more time to look at it?
It's like the fourth page back, fifth page, sixth page. It says BBC local at the top right.
Yeah.
So the main difference is right now when there's a vacancy, and again, I'm going to paraphrase the policy, but when there's a board vacancy, the board internally nominates a replacement. The board votes on it and takes action and replaces it. What BBC local does is make it into a formal policy where when there's a vacancy, you're going to post it for 14 days, that you're going to accept applications, and then you're going to interview the applicants. You're going to review the applications, and then you'll select it, and then the board will approve it. So it just puts more structure and how you do that. In the past, it's been very informal. You know, the board.
Does it require that you appoint someone that does an application? Sometimes maybe the best candidate doesn't file an application.
Correct.
And so that's the question. Does it necessitate or obligate the board to pick only people that file an application?
Yeah. No, it doesn't, but so board sets local policy. Board can deviate from local policy. But I mean, you're deviating from what you said you were going to.
Yeah. So
It's you have the ability to do it. Short answer. When I read it, it gave me pause because I felt like, okay, do you really want to hold yourself to that whole process? There's nothing, you know, if you completely remove it, there's no issue.
So my only thing is sometimes the best candidate may not apply.
Yeah.
And you might have one candidate that you don't like, and you're sort of obligated to appoint the person to apply. But my probably preference would be if it's not required to leave it out.
Yeah. I say the same thing. Give it out.
All the other ones appear fine to me. But when you make the motion, you can just exclude BBC local from it. And then if at any point the board wants to put some kind of structure in it, we can reword this and send it to TASB and have them do what it is that the board wants. But the legal portion of it pretty much addresses the motion to everything.
Anybody have a strong opinion on that?
No?
Then I'll make a motion to approve subject with the exception of BBC local.
I'll second.
There's a motion and second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the policy.
Policy, update 51 with the exception of BBC local.
Kevin, do you, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Carried. Let's skip to acceptance student handbook.
Yes, sir. Mr. Cruz?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Board President Watkins, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you for your continued support and commitment to our students in Southwest Texas College. At this time, I would like to present our 2026-2027 student handbook updates. At this time, I'm going to provide a summary of proposed handbook updates. Let me brief. So on page 4, updates to administrative and academic contact information to reflect current institutional leadership and departmental contacts. On page 9, and it's on your board packet, it's labeled number 13. Page 9, addition and clarification of disability support services, procedures, including the process of requesting accommodations, submitting documentation and scheduling appointments, and accessing online student support resources. On page 14, the removal of the outdated CareDeck tutor information and replacing it with the updated tutor.com support services. On page 15, update the pregnant and parenting student section to reflect current personnel contact information, which is Audrey Studerman at this time, so we added her name. On page 28, addition of an excessive absence process section outlining attendance expectations, withdrawal guidance, and allowable absences based on course meeting schedules and term length. So I'm very visual, so I provided a visual on our student handbook for students so they could see and better understand, the absences and the effect that it has when you're more absent on a certain 16-week, 8-week, and things of that nature. And on page 44, addition of direct complaint form link with the formal student complaint process to improve accessibility and streamline student report procedures. So at this time, the updates are administrative and operational in nature and are designed to improve clarity, accessibility of student services, communication, and consistency across institutional processes. So the recommendation is to approve the proposed 2026-2027 student handbook update as presented.
Also moved.
I second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the student handbook changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we have a motion to consider and act on the June and July board meeting update.
Yes, sir. So it's my recommendation that we move our June board meeting to June 25th, and we begin it with a budget workshop and then follow with the meeting, and that we not have a July board meeting since we're going to have 2 public hearings on the 7th and on the 9th of July.
Do I hear a motion to accept the recommendation?
So move.
We made and seconded to check the June meeting to June 25th, cancel the July meeting, in view of the 2 meetings we're having with LaSalle and Dimmit County. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have a act on an HVAC repair on a Ford Hall.
Yes. There.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins, Dr. Gonzalez, and board members. It is truly an honor to present this tonight. And what I want to share with you is how we got to the process. Again, as we sent out an RFP on February 26th, the submission deadline was April 2nd. With upgrades and needs to our electrical infrastructure, the MEP engineer, Mike Callahan, had requested that we prolong this and just make sure that we get it right. Therefore, the submission was due on May the 8th. We had several contractors appear in the on-site and construction meeting
and that was a positive thing. The recommending committee, consisting of Superintendent of Facilities Al Salinas, Applied Science Division Chair Carlos Lopez, myself, our purchasing agent Dana Garza, and the oversight of Mike Callahan from MEP Engineering. Comfort Air is the engineer, Comfort Air is the company that we'd like to recommend. They achieved a strong overall score and earned the confidence of the evaluation committee in the following key areas. Obviously, value and price of the proposal, reputation and quality of the vendor, alignment and understanding of the project scope of work, and the vendor's prior working relationship with the college and or MEP, and that's where we are basing our decision on. Again, Comfort Air Engineering has met all the requirements. This project would be less than 7 months to begin, as they begin. So we're shooting for January of 2027. So again, it is our recommendation that the board approve Comfort Air Engineering.
And the price is $1,760,950, and we had set aside $2 million out of the bond proceeds for air conditioning the gym.
Good. Very good. Do we need a motion to approve the?
Yes, sir. I make the motion.
Could I ask a question? One of the logos, calculation form, it says there's a company called Gillette Air Conditioning for $706,000.
That was simply just the air conditioning. It did not include any of the infrastructure that was going to be needed.
The big portion of this project is the electrical infrastructure. There's not enough power in the gym, so they're gonna have to upgrade the transformer and rewire the power to the.
One question I have.
Need a motion to approve the.
I move.
Then made, you need a second? Made and second to consider an act on HVAC before Salle. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much. In January of 1995 is when I arrived as a physical educator. As a history of mine, I truly appreciate this. There's a lot of activity that goes in our college gymnasium with our college students, our intramurals, our basketball tournament, and now kids' youth basketball programs going on. Volleyball can come on. It is going to be a tremendous thing. So I applaud Dr. Gonzalez and your consistent effort in trying to get this done. And I thank the college board members for putting your fingerprint on the approval. Thank you.
We won't be ready for this year's basketball tournament. A year from now. Next on the agenda, we have to, board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act and Government Codes 551.072 and Welcome back, everybody. We'll reopen the meeting in open session to consider an act on the Hondo lease.
Yes, sir. I recommend that the board approve the Hondo lease as presented in closed session.
Do we have a motion?
We accept the recommendation of the administration of the Hondo lease.
Have a motion? Do we need a second? Motion been made and seconded to accept the Hondo lease proposal. All in favor, say aye. Is there any further business?
No, sir. Other than in your board packet, there's information there from the CCAP conference. It's going to be on September the 17th through the 19th in Baytown. So if you're interested in attending, please let me or Vanessa know. We need to register before June 30th.
Sounds lovely.
Sign you up?
I had planned to go to Big Ten anytime soon.
That's the only thing.
So I guess we're adjourned.
Need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll move we adjourn.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? I guess we're adjourned. What is this?
Google Clean timed out.